my scars are almost healed. Yeah, my scars are almost healed. Yeah, I'm feeling like a child now. Everything's alright now, and it's all because of you. You made the flower in me bloom. Used to be afraid of everything, but now there's no more fear. Yeah, I used to let nobody in and hide my face with tears. Always thought of you as someone who can love someone like me, but I was wrong. Baby, now I believe. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right.
Hey, 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 welcome in. Hey,
You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me,
you
you and me,
me,
you and me, you and me,
yeah. Hey, hey, mm, mm, mm. 3, 2, 1. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Danae Show. I am Danielle Danae, aka Danny Danae, and I've got a lot to say. So let's get into it. People don't qualify for the ones that they're looking for. Let's talk about it. So I want people watching this to really ask this question I'm about to ask right now. These questions, it's a bunch of questions. What are you wanting when it comes to relationships? For a woman, are you wanting a man that looks a certain way, that acts a certain way? I know a lot of women out here will say, like, I want a man that makes 6 figures, 6 feet tall, has a 6-pack, and at least a 6-inch peen. I was looking for another word to say, but and ask yourself this next question. Has it been a while since you've gotten a man like that? Or had a man even walk up to you and ask you on a date like that? Or have you never had a guy like that approach you? Or a man like that you were able to keep long term? Maybe, just ask yourself, do I deserve this person I'm looking for? And I'm thinking maybe you don't deserve it if the answer to if you ever experienced this type of person or attracted this type of person initially, that you probably don't qualify for that person. Now, people love to take things personally and be like, what? Like, to each his own. Like, if I think I'm going to attract this type of person, I can attract this person. You never know. And I'm just like, to those people, again, you operate in delusion. I operate off of reality. And it's just a reality that a guy that's 6 foot, and again, 6 foot men are very rare. I don't know why women think like these men come in packs. Like, no. A guy that's 6 feet earning 6 figures, again, very, very rare. Okay. Has a 6-pack, super fat, and when it comes to the other thing, I don't know about all that. But these are top of the litter men. So if you're not the top of the litter of the pick, top pick of the litter type of woman, you're not going to get that type of man. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And even being the most beautiful woman, there are other things that that guy is going to want. This guy, obviously, he's going to want a woman he likes to be around, that isn't difficult, that isn't complaining, that is submissive, that is friendly, right? It's so many other factors that go into that people don't think about. Like, it's so funny when I see people asking themselves, like, why did he choose her over me? And they feel like this woman looks worse than her. I'm like, maybe she has something up here that you don't have. I almost guarantee you that's probably the case, right? And the top pick of men are gonna, like I said, are gonna demand a woman that has all those things, because that's the top of the litter type woman. A woman that's drop dead gorgeous and is super sweet, super nice, super feminine, and all those things I mentioned earlier. And for men, I want men to ask the same question. This video is not specifically towards women. There's not as many, but there are a lot of men that have unrealistic standards when it comes to the women they would like to date as well. They want the supermodel, beautiful wife, right? But they're not making a certain amount of money. They don't have any discipline. They don't. They're extremely overweight. I mean, the list goes on. You want her to be submissive to you, but you're not a leader. You're not directing her in a path in order for her to be, in order for her to rest in her femininity. Make it feel like it's safe for her to be feminine. That's a thing. So yeah, you're not going to get that type of woman unless you step your game up, step your money up, step up the way you communicate. It's just not going to happen realistically, okay? You got to meet people where they are. You got to meet people where you are, more so, pardon me. If you know you're not super fit, you're not eating right, you're not the most beautiful person in the world, let's be real. Beauty is not subjective. I hear people freaking say that. Halle Berry wasn't nominated to be as the most beautiful woman in the world because beauty is subjective. People, there's an objective truth on what's beautiful and what's not. All right, if you're not super gorgeous and you know who you are, there's nothing wrong with that. You can help the way you were born. You gotta understand you're not gonna have certain options in life, right? Or if you do, it's going to be because your mind is right? So develop that, perfect that as much as you can. Control the things you can control, right? It's just not going to happen, though. Most likely, again, when I see these women with these crazy weaves, being loud, disrespectful on podcasts like Whatever Podcasts and Fresh and Fit, and just saying if the 304s are loose, that's another thing I gotta put out there. You being a hoe, for the most part, I don't think you're gonna get the top pick of men and being loose. Okay, it's very unlikely. Again, exceptions happen, but not for the most part, because these successful men know that they're smart. These men that are making all this money, they're not dumb, right? They figured out a way to make money. They're very wise. Sometimes men can, be a little stupid when it comes to women, granted. But for the most part, these men are smart. They're not going to be around a woman and deal with a woman who, says crazy things and expects him to just fall at his knees and worship her and wife her. It's freaking ridiculous. It's like you bring nothing of value. Beauty is freaking everywhere. Trust me. I live in the land of beauty. Los Angeles, California. There are beautiful women everywhere I go. But a smart man, a top tier man is going to see right through that. And if your mind isn't there, there's no beauty in that pretty little head of yours. It's dead. It's bad for you, sis. It's bad for you. Okay. Yeah, if these people, like, you gotta be, again, realistic to what you're experiencing. Like, if you're not that attractive, like, I could be wrong. If you're not that attractive, but you have the top tier men going after you, then I could be completely wrong. I will admit when I'm wrong. But it's more likely that you have some type of inner beauty about you that exudes outwards, that what's the word, that makes up for the lack of physical beauty you may have, right? But most likely that's not the case. Most people that get triggered because they find what I'm saying to be true, and they don't. But it's like they don't want me to shatter their delusional thoughts, because it feels good to think that you are going to end up with the best, even though you're not the best of yourself. So, but it has to be said. Again, the truth needs to be said, and you just gotta understand what the marketplace. The most beautiful women in the world that have a beautiful mind are the top ones. Not only beautiful, they haven't slept around. They don't go out a lot. All those things. Top. Then there's the beautiful woman who is beautiful, but lacks wisdom, goes out to clubs. I won't say super loose, but has a number of bodies, and is, but that's about it. Just beautiful and not fully there in the mind, not super wife material, right? And then there's the woman who's not that beautiful, but her mind is golden. This woman actually should beat the other woman that's mind is not set on marriage, not healthy, very toxic. But I hate to say it, men do value beauty. They do. And sometimes they'll overlook certain aspects of a woman's mind. If it's not too bad. Now, if you're completely disrespectful, like super loud, completely promiscuous, dressed completely promiscuous, they're not tolerating that. But, if you're, you say little things that they're like, and then just blow it off because it's not that serious. I'm talking about that type of woman, right? The completely disrespectful girls are down at the bottom with the uglies. I hate to say uglies, but they are. So, but then, like I said, it's below it, the woman who's not that pretty on the outside, but has a beautiful mind. You want to talk to her for hours. She's third, right? So first, second, third, and then last is the butt uglies. The butt uglies that are just ugly in the mind and on the outside, right? There's other like in between levels in there, but those four are the most. That's what it is for the most part. So yeah, you got to understand which level you're on. Like, I am realistic. Like, I know there are women that are above me that, love to cook every day. I'm not a big cook. I will straight up say that. I love to cook, love to be inside. I like to be inside sometimes, but I like to go out. Are emotionally stable. That's something I've been open about. Like, I'm getting my emotions under control. It's something I'm working on. I've gotten better, but I still have a lot of work to do. And all those things, like they are super, super beautiful, super, super fit. I work out, but I could be a little skinnier. I got a little crazy over the holidays, but it's a process. So they're the top, and I know they're above me, and they're gonna get the higher up men, right? So I am moving how I have to move accordingly. Like, I know I am lower than her, but I'm above the the ugly, right? I'm above the I hate to say this. I'm above the ugly with the good mind, and above the ugly with the not so great mind, right? So I know when I'm dating what I'm dealing with, right? And if I happen to get lucky, I happen to get lucky, right? I'm gonna grasp that as tough as I can, which I feel like I did with this current relationship, right? Which it's so funny. A lot of women do experience men sometimes that they don't deserve and actually could end up keeping them. But the thing is, they ruin it because they think, I don't know, they think they can get better, or they're so toxic in the mind they don't realize the best is right in front of them. And, rob themselves of a great of a great relationship, a great opportunity. That happens a lot with celebrities, and just the everyday to day people. You see it a lot, and it's unfortunate because I say this all the time. Everybody thinks they can do better. We live in times where we have social media thinking we have so many options, but we really don't. You realize very quickly that, well, I did, that not everybody is replaceable. And if you are a replaceable type person, which a lot of people are, you are going to get replaced a lot. And it's going to hurt for the beautiful women who, it's going to hurt harder for the ones that are beautiful with the not so great mind, like kind of where I am, but maybe a little under, like in between. It's going to hit hard when they get older and their beauty fades, and now they have nothing. They used to have guys, trying you, but listening to how you think and then dipping. Now no guys are going to try you at all. And it's unfortunate because it's unfortunate they realize it so late because, again, it's like they want to have kids, they want to settle down, and all that stuff. But it's like you should have been smart about this back in your early 20s, mid 20s, early 30s. Like, it just is what it is. But the thing is, black doesn't crack for a little while. Girls don't be realizing it till they hit 50, and it's just like, it's like now you're going through menopause, and it's just like, but literally women are out here talking about, it's so funny, like Janet Jackson had a kid at 50, right? But people like love to put celebrities as their like idols to what, and examples for what they think is going to happen to them, and it's just like, you are not Janet Jackson. And first off, and she's not even, like, these women aspire to marriage. Like, she's not married to this guy. She had a baby. It was a contract deal where he could have a Jackson's baby and she got a lump sum of money. I'm pretty sure. I might be a little wrong if I am, but I'm pretty sure I looked that up and read that somewhere. So it's like, why would you even aspire to that? But I guess, she has the money, she has the fame. People aspire to that side of it. But again, it's like people that never experienced attention and fame and are insecure really crave that attention. But it's like, until you're in it, it's like you don't really know if you want it. Or maybe they do. It's like any attention is good attention for a lot of people, especially my generation, Gen Z. But it's not all it's cracked up to be. Any celebrity will tell you that. You should want to value family. You should want to raise your kids with your husband. And you can say that's not for you. But if you want to be single for your whole life, I'm not speaking to you, cool. But for the most part, I don't think that's true for a lot of people. And if you really want a man to take you seriously and want to have kids with you, you need to be realistic. You need to not have your head in the clouds about what you think a man wants, what you think you want. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with whoever's pursuing you so that you can get the results you want out of life. I think some people, if you see a lot of celebrities' relationships, they don't last. And you know why? It's because everybody thinks, again, they have options. And someone in the relationship, we say this all the time, a divorce happens because someone in the relationship decided to give up, decided that they could do better, was unrealistic with their expectations and, reality, and just decides to be single again. And it's just really, really sad. Like this whole, and I see relationships like Gisele Bundchen and Tom Brady's breakup, and Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt struggling, man, upset, man. And it's like Gisele now pregnant with her, I don't know if he's a trainer, shizitsu. What? How do you say that? I mess it up every time. I feel like I'm cussing. Anyway, with this other guy who's her boyfriend, all of a sudden pregnant by him, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like. And if you look at Gisele, you're like, how Gisele, you're Gisele. Why would you go for this guy who works out and is no one versus over Tom Brady? And it's just like, like some people think other people qualify for other people just because they're famous. It's like, no, there's so much, like, forget the fame. It's like living with the person. You understand who they really are, and if they're toxic, you don't want to deal with that every day. Like if it's ugly, it's like that's what you see, despite how beautiful that person is, despite how famous they are. If they have an ugly mindset, an ugly attitude, that's all you see all the time. And it's like, they're passing that down to their kids subconsciously and consciously. Like, you don't want that. And when you value things like family, it's a deal breaker. Right? And you can say, like, yeah, celebrities qualifies for celebrities. A lot of relationships with that celebrities are in there with other celebrities because they feel like they qualify to be with them because they understand their lifestyle and stuff like that. But, you'll also see, like, celebrities marrying a stylist. Or, like I said, Gisele getting with later now this trainer, this shizitsu person who she worked out with, because again, there was something, he's not famous, but there was something that he was saying to her or something that he was doing. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know Gisele personally, but if I had to guess, because he's not as rich, obviously, as Tom Brady, so it's not about the money. It was how he made her feel, And so many women are having babies with men who aren't men they should be procreating with at all, but they have the gift of gab. They're great con artists, great communicators, communicating bad words but communicating them well, and it's really sad. But yeah, it's so funny. Like, beauty is like the it thing to determine where somebody is high on the ladder or not. No, it's so many other factors. Just like I said, beauty fades. It's very, trust me though, I said it earlier, it's very important, especially to women. The male gaze is something that cannot be explained. They're just obsessed with beauty. They are. But a man who has purpose, has vision, and like I said, can see past the beauty and, wants and values a peaceful environment, values a woman who is positive in such a negative world, that will, raise their kids to be great human beings. That's what they're looking for. And if you don't bring any of those other things to the table, like just your beauty, you're going to, like I said, come to hit the wall hard later in life. It's gonna hurt for you later if you don't take my advice and invest in yourself, focus on bettering yourself every single day, because you don't you don't qualify, miss. You don't qualify for the man that you're looking for. You don't qualify for that great husband that will take care of you and love you throughout the years when your beauty fades, because That's all you have to offer. That's all you have to offer. If you go out and walk, I love like living in LA because in downtown, especially, because I can go out in downtown and be around regular people, but then I also go to Beverly Hills and be around the people who are the stars and own businesses that are behind the scenes, but big in the industry world. And when I go outside and see the everyday people, you see like everyday couples. She's not the cutest. He may be cute. They're together. They make it work. They both might be not that attractive, but they're together and they love each other and they make it work. Right? It's because they understand. They understand. They know what they can get. They have an underlying understanding of what they want. And, even if they don't deem them to be that attractive, they're attractive to them because of the things that they value, the understanding they have with one another. I was like, I've been seeing ugly chicks wiped up way more than the pretty ones. It's because when you get pretty, you get big headed. I know, especially for me, I can't believe I'm admitting this, but I don't mind. But I was not cute growing up. Like most beautiful women weren't gorgeous growing up. Even Yasmin Guri, this supermodel back in the day, she would tell you she was bullied as a kid. I was bullied not for being ugly. I was just mean. I was mean to other people, so people were mean to me, but I definitely was mean too. But I was super slim. I had black gums. People would joke about that. Big lips. People say I had DSLs, which it's D sucking lips. And when I got older in high school, I wore too much makeup. I used to draw my eyebrows on with Sharpies. Ridiculous time. I wish I could burn all those photos. I did a fashion show where they drew my eyebrows on for the fashion show, and I thought it was so cool looking, but she used an actual makeup brush to put on actual makeup with the eyebrows, and I didn't have that, so I was like, oh, let me use a Sharpie, and I was drawing them on in school. Looked a freaking hot mess. Wore the wrong color foundation on my face. Mess. Didn't do my hair in a way that was most flattering. I remember I even dyed it red one time. And I did it when I was straight, but when I washed it and wore it curly, it was a little mess. When you dye your hair, it changes the texture. And if you don't put the right amount of products in it and stuff to make it work, it looks a mess. Mine look a mess. Curly girls know. But yeah, I wasn't, the point is I wasn't beautiful really until I'll say after I graduated. Like, I was getting cute as a senior, but really not until I graduated, like 19, 20, and really didn't peak until like 23, 24, 25, and I'm 26 now. So it's like when you get a little taste of beauty though, you realize you're beautiful, you know how to do your hair right, you know how to do your makeup right, you dress very nicely. And now you're getting all this attention, but you used to be joked. It goes to your head. You're like, oh my goodness. You get a little cocky. You might say things you wouldn't normally say. You do things you wouldn't normally do. And I did that. And I realized, like, no, you can't act like that. And I noticed, like, the girls that were super not cute in high school, growing up, whatever, and got beautiful later, like Yasmin, it either one or two things happen. You end up like me, where you get cocky and big-headed, or it's super humbling. Like I think it was for Jasmine. And she was like, okay, I'm going to land my husband, right, and settle down and have some kids. I found my person. I'm done. I don't need the attention. I don't need the fame. I don't need the career. I need my family. And she won in life. People are like, oh, how could she give up her career? She could have been so big. That was her win in life. And I really think she won in life too. Maybe my old self would have thought like, oh, she's crazy for giving up all that fame. But no, she realized what was truly important. And it was, like I said, family, which is very valid. But yeah, I got big headed And I was the complete opposite. I was treating people badly. Again, emotions out of control, saying wild things to people. And even if they deserved it, I shouldn't have responded the way I did. I could have just walked away. I could have just remained quiet. But I chose not to. I always had to have the last word. And I realized that was just an ugly trait I had. I didn't know how to speak to people. I actually had someone tell me, they were like, you got to learn how to speak to people. You don't know how to. It's not cute. And I rock with you. Because when you're cool, you're cool. When you get upset, when you feel disrespected or whatever, you're impossible to talk to. And you talk to me crazy, right? So I had to sit back and be like, okay, yeah, I'm speaking crazy. If multiple people are saying this, it must be some truth behind it. People that, don't know each other, random people, there must be some truth to it. So I was like, I had to do self-work. I had to step back and be like, okay, I know my beauty is going to fade one day. I'm still young, but I'm like, no, I want to be beautiful up here as much as I am out here, because I know this is not going to last. And it's just not right to treat people ugly, no matter how beautiful you are. It's ugly. Like I said, like people see the ugliness no matter how beautiful you are. If you're ugly on the inside and you treat people ugly, you're now ugly to them. They're now looking at an ugly person on the outside. So yeah, I had to ask myself, why was I struggling with dating? My relationships weren't lasting. The guys I wanted weren't around. But I was attracting them. They were in my DMs. They were outside, most definitely. And I would be friends with them. But as far as dating, I'm still friends with some of them. But as far as when it came to dating, they were like, I'm good. We can be friends, we can be cordial, but they're like, no, you don't. A man can instantly look at a woman and know if they have wife qualities or not. Women can do it too, but more so men, especially the top tier men, right? The six figures, the super fit guys, right? They can spot it from a mile away, because again, there's wisdom behind that. Somebody schooled them, or they learned from experience. So yeah, they'll be nice, but they'll steer clear of the pretty problematic woman every time, and go after the woman who's beautiful but not super problematic. And y'all know what that looks like. I mentioned earlier, loud, disrespectful, it has no goals in life. I remember someone like, my boyfriend actually told me, he was like, you gotta like have goals. Like, you're a model, you're doing okay, and you're doing other things here and there to make ends meet, but it's like, what do you want long term? What do you get excited to do every day? What does your contribute to society? Right? No man wants a lazy woman who just wants to sit around. She'll work out, but when it comes to actually doing something that will benefit her long term, she doesn't want to do it. Other than working out, like, she doesn't want to do it. That's a problem. And like I said, men can spot that by how a woman talks, what she plans to do every day, and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, just accept the level you're at. That's all I'm saying. Understand what it is, and get what you can get. I don't know how else to say it. The man that likes you, everybody wants to like people that don't like them. I made a post about that too. Like, that's a whole other point. Like, you may like the guy that's out there, living life that every girl wants, but again, he doesn't like you. He doesn't like you. You need to like who likes you, and hold on to that person, because that's your person. most likely than not, that guy, if he wanted you, he would have been here by now. The women that have gone years waiting for this person, he would have been here by now. God's not that messed up. That he won't have you going till you're 50 in order to find your soulmate. Obviously, it happens from time to time. They find it later, but there's somebody early. You meet pretty early on the person you're meant to be with. Just you mess up, and then God gives you a second chance, maybe, if you're lucky. Or you just live in a delusion world where a guy wouldn't even want to, like, they none of them are attracted to you. None of them even take the time to have a conversation because they already know you giving off the signals, the signs, in order for them to avoid you. So think about it. Think about your situation. This is only toward women that actually want to get married and raise a family and stuff. If you want to be single forever and have a million cats, that's on you. I'm not speaking to you. You don't have to be outraged about what I'm saying. You can just go on with your day. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. I'm talking about for the one looking for a relationship. Do you qualify for what you're looking for? Ask that question. Do you qualify? To get the best, you got to be the best. You got to be unique, at least. And if you're not that, you got to accept the people that aren't the one that's not as unique as well. Because that's what you're going to attract. That's what you qualify for. And that's all I got to say about that. All right, guys, like this video if you like this video. Comment always. I love to hear you guys' opinions, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time. All right, love you. Bye.
Aquel día el instinto nos decía que esa noche juntico no quería, que las ganas bebé nos ganaría, pero no fue así. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a jugar. Ella sabe que quiero a mi mamacita. Ella también quiere que seamos felices. Ella, la que se apresura a la vueltica. Ella es sin timidez. Como la ves no le importa dónde y cuándo. Que nada no he hecho, no soy el que la mando. Nunca lo seré, su carácter no es de niña, que la puede controlar cualquiera. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a los 7 días de la semana. Te doy de mañana y consejos sabes que no es. Te doy el desquite, que me quites todas esas ganas que te tengo muerto. Todo el mundo sabe que tú y yo somos más que panas, pero nos vamos lento, que el que se apura no llega a nada, no llega a nada, nada. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, bebé. que si nos saturamos no disfrutamos del momento, yeah, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, yeah, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la